What's up? It's Chug Rock. What I want to talk about at this very moment right now is about you know uh hatred. You know what I'm saying? How there's nothing wrong with having hatred. You know what I'm saying? Towards a person. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's for a righteous cause. There is such thing as righteous hatred. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not realistic for somebody to love everybody. You know, that's a fantasy doctrine that you're supposed to love everybody. You know, because everybody ain't your friend. You got enemies out here. You're gonna have enemies out here. You know what I'm saying? You can't meet everybody in the whole entire world and expect them to be cool with you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how life is. It's a negative and a positive. If good and evil exists, why you think don't you think evil people exist? My point. So if love exists, hatred exists too. We both have that attribute. Don't you hate the type of food? Don't you hate some type of things, other than a human being? So why is it difficult for you to hate something? Why is it difficult for y'all to understand that nothing's wrong with hating a person, a human being? If you can hate something, a food, something you taste, or some kind of movie or something on TV or a TV show, you can hate a human being too. I can be hated, you can be hated that's listening to this video. You know what I'm saying? Is watching and listening to me talking. So don't act like, we're in a cartoon fairy tale zone. You know what I'm saying? This is the real world. That's only in cartoons. That's a cartoonish doctrine. A fairy tale cartoonish doctrine that you're supposed to love thy enemy. Yes, you do good. Yes, you're supposed to do good to everybody, regardless. But you don't have to like them or love them, which is the same thing, interchangeably. You don't have to love them or like them just because it says that in the Bible. You go by your human instincts. What's in here? You know what I'm saying? If you got a righteous heart and your heart is righteous, why not hate the evil person do and the person at the same time? You cannot hate the evil that they doing, but love them if they causing if they doing you so dirty. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? That doctrine is dumbing down people that you're supposed to love thy neighbor. All your neighbors. You're not supposed to love all your neighbors. You can love thy neighbor, some of your neighbors or most of your neighbors, but not all in general. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. You're not going to hell because you hate a person, especially if they did so much evil towards you. If a person did so much evil towards you, why not hate them? Why not show hatred towards them? It's in your nature to hate and love. If you can love and hate other things, why not love and hate humans as well? Use common sense. Use common sense. Think about it. What y'all believe in, that doctrine of Christ saying, love thy neighbor, love everybody. Nah, you don't love everybody because, everybody's not likable. Everybody's not, friendly. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me you're going to love somebody that killed your child, kidnapped your child and killed your child, innocent child? I don't love them I wouldn't love them kind of people. I wouldn't even forgive them kind of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, forgiving everybody. You ain't even supposed to forgive everybody. Especially with something like that. Kidnapping, killing people. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's a devil doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Love thy neighbor. Love all thy neighbor is a devil doctrine. You know what I'm saying? You know. So if it was a Christ that existed, he would not teach that. You know, you know, praying for your enemies, you know, you don't do none of that. You don't pray for them. You know, you don't pray for your enemy. You know what I'm saying? You don't even worry about them. You know, if anything, you know what I'm saying? You know, because technically God won't be with them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let God deal with them. If anything, you know what I'm saying? If y'all wanna if y'all wanna go into this religious thing, you know what I'm saying? And anyway, God don't even deal with them, you know what I'm saying? He just let them. He don't. They don't even see his kingdom. They don't even touch his kingdom. He don't even have to deal with unrighteous people. You know what I'm saying? The God that I believe in. You know what I'm saying? The real, true, and living God. That's the King of the universe. He don't deal with those type of people. He don't even want you to fool with those type of people. You know what I'm saying? You know, really. So, you know, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? You know, kind of be honest with you, to always be honest with you, hatred is normal, just like love. You know, love and hatred is normal, just like it's coming to do good. You know, it's coming to hate people. You know, it's coming to uh you know, do those type of things. That's normal. So why can it not be normal to hate a person? I'm still righteous because as long as I'm doing good in my life, I'm set apart from evil. How I'm still going to hell? How I'm going to hell for hating the things, stuff that God hates, which is evil people. Evil people that tampering with his children, his children. They don't make sense. He gonna shoot me away, and I'm his child. I got the aura on him. That don't make sense. So y'all gotta understand, make sense what y'all saying. People that did do me wrong, too dirty in the dirt. I ain't no mercy for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coming back. I'm hating y'all, and I might hate y'all forever. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't have love for people that do me wrong, do me dirty. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do me right for me to like you, for me to love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not loving my enemies. They don't make sense. I'm gonna do good to them, but I ain't gonna love them. I'm only people that hate people only wrong when they mean towards them, just like they mean towards them. You are only out of God's good grace. If you hating people the way they hating you by doing you dirty, being mean to them, you supposed to do them kind, but let them do you ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, they needed some food, they was hungry. You can hate them to death, but feed them if they hungry. They say they hungry, your enemies say they hungry. You can feed them. If they say they thirsty, you can feed them. You're supposed to feed them. You don't supposed to let them starve. If they need help or something, if they drowning, you're supposed to save them. If you know how to swim and if you're a lifeguard or something, you're supposed to save them. If you see them in a burning building, if they in a burning building or something, you're supposed to rescue them. If you can rescue them. And on the other hand, they might not do that for you, but you do that for them. That's the only time when your hatred is wrong. That kind of hatred where you don't do righteousness towards them, even though you hate them. That's the kind of hatred that God don't like. That's the hatred of a wicked person. The hatred of a righteous person will hate you and still do right by you, versus a person that's unrighteous that'll hate you that won't do right by you. See, that's a big difference. So I don't have to love a person that that hate me, that did me wrong and did me dirty, that do me dirty. You know what I'm saying? I don't. But I do right by them. I respect them. The only time I will be doing wrong if I disrespect them and mirror their character. You don't want to mirror their character because you want to be no different than them. You don't argue with a fool. You know what I'm saying? You don't argue with unrighteous people. Just like you're not supposed to hang around with unrighteous people. You know what I'm saying? People that's doing the wrong thing. People that's into robbing banks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, selling drugs and running around with dope and guns and illegal guns and all that kind of stuff. You don't ride with them kind of people. You don't hang around with them type of people. You don't hang around with assholes. You know, although I hang around with an asshole, uh uh I'm testing his water. I'm trying to see if he can get in my good grace though. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to let me go. You know what I'm saying? So I gave him a chance. You know, if he do wrong by me the second time, it's all over with. No third chance, no baseball. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? And he take me around. You know what I'm saying? So I thought we was cool. You know what I'm saying? I thought he could be a possible friend, but nah, he wasn't no friend. You know. And I still got hatred towards him, but I'm still gonna treat him right. You know, although he treat me right, I'm like, nah, I don't want to fuck with you no more. I didn't cuss at him and stuff. Nah, I didn't. That's not in my character. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily say, I don't fuck with you no more. Get the fuck on, beat your ass when I see you. But that's not in my character. That's the character of an unrighteous person. See the difference? See, I hate the person. But I still got respect towards him. You know what I'm saying? It might not look like it because I'm respectful. You know what I'm saying? That's not in my character to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So that's how y'all should be. Y'all ain't got the love. As long as you treat that person right, still let them be a fool. See when you showing when your hatred build up, when you disrespectful and loud and cuss them out every time you see it and you trying to fight them. That's when you start showing the devil's love, devil's hate. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil's hate. God's hate is God. Hate is you doing right by a person regardless of you don't like them or not. You know what I'm saying? You'll look after them even though you hate the person. And that's what I'm trying to say, y'all. I hope that's not confusing to y'all. If this resonates to you, that means you got the spirit of righteousness inside of you. You know what I'm saying? You got the full understanding of righteousness inside of you in that area. You know what I'm saying? If you fully walking in truth, you should understand what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as loving thy enemy when when your enemy don't love you. You know what I'm saying? You just don't mirror the same energy they mirror. You know what I'm saying? Or it wouldn't be no difference between you and them. So y'all be cool.